various betting sites picked up that there was suspicious betting pattern for an undercard fight, a prop on a fight, to go, to not go the distance, and that fight ends within like a minute into the fight. So all of these suspicious things hit. And then you have Krouse, who's apparently in that corner. He's a sports betting guy. And then the big thing, Evan, which we should address it, right? For whatever reason, UFC fighters were allowed to bet on other fights on the card, allowed to bet on themselves. That seems to be something that should have long been outlawed. Now that we're in 2022, or now we're in 2023. In covering that story, I think, right, Evan, wasn't Molina suspended at least temporarily?
Yeah, so he got suspended. What was the report from a couple hours ago? So he was suspended due to substantial involvement in the Krouse gambling scandal.
I think maybe it was like he was a suspect initially. So the update is that he's being suspended. So here's my favorite line. I actually saw this come up, when we were doing our research. Quote, in touting the club, Molina stated as follows, quote, in stocks, this is called insider trading. In MMA betting, it's called James Krouse. And then you go on, he says what you said about paying the mortgages and whatnot. So, it's not illegal until it's illegal. Molina's learning the hard way. Krouse is learning the hard way. It seems so odd. Like, it's one thing to be a former MMA fighter and start a sports betting podcast. Like, I have no issue with that. But if you're a coach and you're training guys and maybe you're giving out information on your own fighters, like, we've crossed the line that I don't think we've ever seen in sports. So a pretty important fallout now. Maybe it's the second domino and what could be several more. Are you an MMA guy? Do you know this guy?
Yeah, no, I'm big into MMA. I don't think I've heard of this guy, Molina, or even Norden Beaky before. But still, I mean, for someone who watches MMA, someone who bets MMA, it's disturbing to hear that this kind of stuff has gone on. I would assume won't be going on in the future, but it's a shame it took something like this to bring it to light.